Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. Iracing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iracing.com.
There might be some rain coming through. We expect rain soon. Rain is close. The session has been declared wet. No sign of this rain stopping. Rain is clearing up. Rain should be gone for now. Nothing but sunshine all day.
Hey folks, welcome in. It's Sunday evening again. That means we're back doing Ferrari Challenge racing in the Apex this racing league this evening. A little bit of a foreshadowing there by the iRacing promo with the rain racing. We're in Circuit de la Sarthe, Le Mans, France. for round 9 of 12 here in season 24. Our drops here, we'll take a look at how that's shaping up here momentarily as the just under a sub 4-minute lap. It's still going to be some time for our drivers to put in some lap times, but let's take in a quick chat here about our our sponsor, Apex Sim Racing, sponsoring the channel. You'll find a discount code in the description there if you want to receive 5% off anything from Apex Sim Racing. They have wheels, tires, pedals, basically anything you could possibly need to get your sim racing game up and out and on the track. You'll find the referral code there. Use 5% code Racer Nexus to get your 5% off there, and we appreciate that for you. As mentioned, our drivers getting underway in qualifying. Let's take a look at the conditions out here this evening. As I mentioned, it's raining. Our drivers have a ton of work ahead of them here. 66 degree air temp could translate to 68 degree Fahrenheit track temp. So relatively cool track temps. That's going to play well for our drivers not using up their equipment here this evening, but that rain is going to be tough to deal with. We'll take a quick look here at the weather forecast. Let's see, it's showing us about 3% chance of the rain continuing, so it should start to taper off here shortly. I suspect we'll have rain at the start of the race, and it'll taper off quickly as the race goes on, and hopefully maybe mid to late in the race our drivers will see some dry track conditions. But we do have a championship battle underway too as well. Before we get into the qualifying, let's take a look and see how the championship standings are shaping out, with Chris Diaz leading the AM side of things. He's got 147 points. He's got a nice lead over Isaac Sulu, currently in second place at 118. Kent Kruger holding down third spot, just 3 points ahead of Aaron Sunday. Jesse Meager another 3 points back. So third, fourth, and fifth still up for grabs here. Actually, Isaac Sulu not too far out of the woods ahead of Kent Kruger. Not too much separating those two drivers who can't possibly, or even our fourth and fifth place drivers can take that position away too as well. On the pro side of things, Joseph Marr leading the way, 127 points over Justin Atchison in second place with 112. Mark Miller and Brian Zinn deadlocked at third and fourth place, 100 points, and just 3 points back of them. Brian Lemke and Sean Teeter not too far back either as well, still in the battle, with things starting to shape up at the top of both classes. So as I mentioned, we are underway in qualifying. Let's hop onto the track here, see how our drivers are doing, what kind of conditions they are facing out here. On board with Brian Lemke, currently second place in qualifying right now. Lemke 2.4 seconds back of our current pole sitter, Joseph Marr. So we'll see if Lemke has anything to offer. Joseph, we got a little over 2 minutes to go in qualifying here. Let's take Lemke on the front end of this lap, so I doubt he's going to be able to get back around to put another lap in. He might have to settle with the position he's currently in. We've got 17 drivers in session here this evening, but listening to chat before we came live, sound like a number of them struggling a little bit here to get some laps in early on with the raining conditions. So see how that works out as we progress. I know Kelly Greenho, who we don't see on track here right now, the first lap, just to try and get a lap in, just going to give you an idea of the conditions our drivers are having to fare with out there tonight. So we're on board here currently with Oz Ixulu. Ixulu yet to put in a time here. He's on the back end of the field, of the track here, going through the Porsche S's. See what kind of time he puts in. He's still going to have enough time to get across the line. He's going to need to register one lap here, as a number of drivers still trying to put in that lap. Only 8 drivers register a lap right now. We'll see if Oz Ixulu can be our 9th driver here. He's got one more corner to go across the start finish line for him. See what kind of lap here that Oz puts on the board. So there he goes. Looks like he possibly had an off track somewhere out there on that lap, so that one's not going to register for him, unfortunately. Joseph Meyer still sitting up top. He's going to come around and finish up his lap. No more time for a lap for him, so he's going to have to sit tight with that. Brian Lemke just heading through Mulsanne corner here now. Fortunately for him, he's not going to have enough time to put in another lap here. So Lemke going to have to hold tight with what he's put in so far. Brian's in, driver that has only just put in a lap 2 as well, one of our championship contenders. Currently sitting in 9th place right now in qualifying. He might have a no. He's going to run out of time with only 5 seconds left to go in qualifying. That's going to pretty much do it for all of our drivers unless they're crossing the line right now and their timing and scoring going to click over. That's going to end up qualifying. We'll take a look at the grid here in a matter of seconds once the session clicks over. Oh, I apologize. Looks like we had a little blip back live again, though. Welcome in, folks. We're just doing a quick little check here on settings. Looks like we're having a little bit of internet lag here for some reason. Okay, I think we've got that cleared up now. We'll keep going here. Sorry, I apologize. Let's take a look at the starting grid here. See Joseph Meyer going to lead the way over Sean Teeter and Brian Lemke. Justin Meager, Just Snatching, Corey Mitchell round out the top 6. Kent Kruger and Felipe Cox in 7th and 8th, with Brian Zinn and Christopher Diaz in 9th and 10th. 11th and 12th going to go to Oz Xulu and Bruce Silva. And then behind them, we're going to find Kelly Greenhoe in 13th, Eric Tyndall in 14th, Nicholas Stubliski, Donald Mensing, and Rob Felling going to round out our field here this evening. So again, apologize for the little bit of internet issues here. We've got a bit of a storm rolling through the area, just kind of causing a little bit of havoc. So hopefully that should clear up here in a matter of moments. So all 17 of our cars on track, following around the Porsche pace car for this evening. 40 minutes of racing. Our drivers will need to come in for a fuel stop at some point in time. They will not need tires, I guess, unless the track dries out and they want to switch from the wet compound over to the slicks. Actually, let's take and pop up here. I suspect all of our drivers should be on rain tires, and there we go. It looks like they all are on rain tires. That's perfect. I don't want to see anybody causing carnage out there trying to run on dry tires, but a lot of our drivers are going to have to exercise some patience here. Don't want to get wrapped up in something early on. Don't want to take out your fellow driver, ruin your race or their race. So most of our drivers still involved in the championship at some point in time in some way, shape, or form. There we go. Pace car popping off into the final corner we go. R and Teeter are going to lead them through, waiting for the green flag. Their green flag is up and we're underway. Now it's a race into turn 1. Off they go. You see the spray kicking up. It's going to be hard for the drivers a little farther back in the pack having to deal with that spray as they head into turn 3 and 4. First time through. Looks like all of our drivers getting onto the binders. Nicely done. Oh, a little bumping and banging up ahead. Looks like might have been Corey Mitchell getting wrapped up a little bit there. Looks like Corey and Justin Ashton running very similar paint schemes this week. That was Justin Ashton, actually, the lead red, black, and white Ferrari. Kent Kruger up into 5th place, up 2 spots early on for the big dog. Looks like Kent Kruger went to school this week working on his rain racing here at Le Mans. A nice start for Kent Kruger. He's is now got himself positioned up behind just actually another driver, moved up a couple spots already as Brian Zinn got himself up into P6 early on. Just behind them, looks like Jesse Meager going to make his way around Corey Mitchell. Both those drivers down a number of spots. Maybe they got caught up in that early bumping and banging into turn 3 and 4. Mitchell trying to make a move around the outside of Meager now as they head into the first Mulsanne chicane. Mitchell's going to actually get up alongside Brian Zinn. He's going to take that spot away too as well. Corey Mitchell up 2 spots into the Mulsanne chicane. Nice move by Corey Mitchell. Take a look back here from Corey Mitchell. See Zinn and Meager both in behind. Corey trying to spread the draft out, working one way to the other. One side of the track to the other side of the track. Give a little draft to each driver so that they continue to battle amongst each other. Now, Le Mans is about 50% road, normal roads, country roads, and then 50% permanent racetrack. So that means that on the areas where it's predominantly country road section where we're on right now, you can go drive this pretty much 360 days of the year if you head to Le Mans, France. But that means that that middle portion of the track where that white line is, it's going to be crested. So you want to try and stay off of that because it's going to hinder your top speed. You want to be on either one side of that crest or the other. That's what we saw. Both the drivers in behind Corey were getting on either one side of that crest or the other. They wouldn't want to be right in the middle of it. That's going to compromise their time. But up front, our pole sitter, Brian Lemke, trying to break away. He's got Joseph Maher and Sean Teeter in tow here. So that 3-pack already opened up almost 3 seconds over Justin Atchison, our 4th place driver. It looks like Teeter going to try and look to the outside of Joseph Maher. Maher going to defend that off as they head into turn 19 and 20 here at Le Mans. 38 turns make up the Circuit de la Sarthe in Le Mans. Our driver's officially about halfway through the lap here now. It's our first lap, 40 minutes. Which means probably going to be maybe 10 laps, 11 laps, depending if the track dries out at all. So it'll be interesting to see when our drivers come in, how far that fuel load is going to take them, how far they can push it. Kelly Greenhoe, as I mentioned early on, our driver who struggled a little bit in qualifying, was having some issues getting in that clean lap, had to reset a couple times. That said, he's got himself up 4 places early on here as he's coming in through the Porsche, Ford, and Corvette S's here now. He's in tow. You see that pack up ahead being led by Justin Atchison, Kent Kruger, and Corey Mitchell not too far behind. Looks like something's happened to Donald Mensing. We'll catch a replay of that here in a moment. Go farther back to back. Corey Mitchell making a big run. Going off track, that's going to get him a slowdown. Definitely, we're going to see Brian's in, possibly Jesse Meager move back around him. Not sure Corey's going to be able to serve that slowdown quick enough here. He's trying to into the S's without losing a position. We'll see here now if he's able to make that move around. Looks like Corey's actually going to be able to bleed it off without losing any position. So well done by Corey Mitchell. I thought for sure he was going to have to give up at least 1 spot there. So look back here from Mitchell as he's in, trying to arc in a little wider there. Oh, Mitchell and Kruger can get together. Kent Kruger, that's going to allow a number of drivers through. I mentioned Kent had that great race start. Let's take a quick look here and see what happened to Kent Kruger and Corey Mitchell. So we're focused on Kent Kruger, new paint scheme this week for Kent. Coming in. Oh, looks like he just got a little wide, and looks like Corey Mitchell coming in tight. Just going to tag the left rear corner of Kent Kruger. Let's go on board here with Corey, see what he saw. As Corey was coming in tight, fortunately couldn't get the car woed up in time and just got into the left rear of Kent. So that's unfortunate for him. Both drivers going to get back on track though, but down a number of positions. A rain race though, you never know what could happen. They could be right back up into those spots before we know it. Check back in with our leaders though, as Lemke now holding a half second over Joseph Maher. Sean Teeter falling back a little bit here. Let's go on board with Sean Teeter, see what kind of conditions he's facing as far as any kind of spray coming up. We see Sean holding very wide to the right, trying to make a wide arcing entrance into the second Mulsanne chicane as he can. Trying to get back into that throttle, a little difficult in these cars. Not a whole lot of downforce on the Ferrari Challenge car, the 296 Challenge. You really have to kind of nurse getting back into the throttle. You can't really hammer onto it like you would in, say, a GT3 machine. They just don't have the downforce. They actually have more power in these cars than what you have in your GT3 machine. About 700 horsepower in the Ferrari Challenge car, where the average GT3 machine is about 500 to 600 horsepower, depending on the BOP. A little further back in the pack, we got Felipe Cox making a move around Derek Tyndall. That's going to move him back to where he qualified. Some nice run by Felipe Cox, Puerto Rican driver, one of our new drivers here the last couple of weeks. Going to make a nice move around Derek Tyndall. We'll see if Tyndall can fight back. Nice run so far by Tyndall. He's up 5 spots. A couple of the spots due to Kent Kruger and Corey Mitchell, we saw getting into it not too long ago. So he'll take him any which way you can get a position. You'll take it out here. It's like something went off a little bit between Isaac Sulu and Nicholas Stubliski. Like Oz came on the radio apologizing for some contact. Let's take a quick look here at the pass that Xulu just made on Stubliski. See if there was indeed some contact. Oh, it looks like he had enough room to make it around the outside. Must have been something that happened a little earlier on. That's going to move Isaac Sulu up 1 spot into 11th place. A nice run by him. Lemke up front, though, still feeling some pressure from Joseph Maher. Take a look back here from Brian Lemke's wing. See what he's dealing with. Joseph Maher holding tight on the back end, trying to force a mistake by Lemke. But right now, Lemke doing well to hold on to top spot. As they're working their way into the final chicane. That's going to finish up lap 2. So it doesn't look like any of our drivers popping in this time by for some pit service. Let's go back a little further here. Check on Kelly Greenhoe. Greenhoe on a little bit of an island right now. He's got himself up 7 spots from where he qualified. So struggling to put in a lap in qualifying. Hasn't translated into a struggle so far in the race for Kelly. Nice run by him. Started 13th, got himself up into 6th place now. There's a battle up ahead though. Justin Atchison in the red, black, and white number 175, trying to hold off the charge of Brian Zinn in behind. All on board here with Zinn as you see him trying to work a way around Justin Atchison. Varying lines here. Atchison holding a little tighter line. He's going to drift out wide though, but Zinn unfortunately couldn't get back into the throttle quick enough to try and capitalize on that mistake by Atchison. Going to have to try and find another way around here. So you see the field coming through. That's a little farther back in the pack there. As that's Derek Tyndall, Felipe Cox, Chris Diaz, Bruce Silva, another new driver here this week. So welcome in Bruce Silva, the dog box racing driver. Currently trying to make his way around Felipe Cox. It's battle for 9th place, just inside the top 10. Cox was holding on to that position. Silva trying to take it away. It's going to be a battle of the late breakers here into the first Mulsanne chicane. Cox coming back on the outside. Who's going to get in there? Silva going to try and make his way around the outside. Cox fighting back on the inside. They're going to bump a little bit. Oh! Felipe Cox elbowed out a little bit to the left. He's going to keep it on track though, but Isaac Sulu into the battle here now. So I'm going to go here with Isaac Sulu. See that spray kicking off up in front of him. He's getting double spray from both Bruce Silva and Felipe Cox up ahead. See if Xulu gets a run here. He is. He pulls to the inside. Not enough overlap, though, into the second Mulsanne chicane to make that move. He's got to hold on and try and find another way around. So out of the chicane, that battle comes. They've got Derek Tyndall, Chris Diaz not too far off the track. Sulu going to look again around the outside. Let's see if he can make it stick this time as they head into the Mulsanne corner. Take a look here from the braking section. There comes that battle, and behind there's Diaz, Tyndall, Silva, Cox, Sulu going to make that pass stick this time. That's going to move him up into 10th place. That's going to be +2 on the day for Oz Sulu. Nice run shaping up for him early on. Let's pop back up to our leaders, see how they're working out. I had taken a quick look, and Mara was holding about 4/10 back, but those slower last couple corners for Mars, dropping him back a little bit. Oh, Joseph Mara going to miss the corner. It's going to cost a spot. Sean Teeter going to get around too as well. So Joseph Mara unable to get that car woed down. Let's take another quick look here at what happened there for Joseph. Coming out of the Indianapolis corner. Just doesn't get it woed up in time. Oop, fortunately our camera clicked away there. Keeps it off the wall though. He'll get gathered back up and continue on. This battle between Bruce Silva, Oz Sulu, Felipe Cox isn't going away. They continue to battle. They've reeled in though Derek Tyndall. Now it's a 4-car battle for 8th place. 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th. Separated by about 3/4 of a second here right now. Tyndall leading the way in this pack. They've got Chris Diaz not too far up ahead of them either. So they could reel in Diaz, the 7th place car. This could actually be a battle from 7th all the way back to 11th. We're nearing the 13-minute mark. Should start to see some drivers try and deploy strategy here. It'll be who's going to try and go for the undercut this evening. With a big track like Le Mans, if you're feeling some pressure from the drivers in behind, it might be advantageous to try the undercut here where you come in before ahead of the car that's you're battling with, get some service, go back on the track, find some clean air, potentially run some quicker laps. We saw Oz Sulu look to the outside of Bruce Silva, ran off track a little bit, but no doubt he's got a little bit of a slowdown. He's trying to bleed off here. But they've now officially caught Chris Diaz. Diaz now leading this pack that runs from 7th place all the way down to 11th place, Bruce Silva. And Silva, with a little bit of slowdown, lost that position to Sulu. Going to make it back here, though. He's got himself back up ahead. Actually, I'm not sure why it's showing him in behind. Felipe Cox. Oh, yeah, sorry, he has fallen in behind Felipe Cox. Just had a little bit of a slowdown there for Bruce Silva heading through the final chicane. Looks like something happened to Joseph. Or sorry, not Joseph. We saw that Donald Mensing. Let's take a look here. Mensing in the U.S. Navy Blue Angels machine. To the same corner that we saw Joseph Marr struggle with. Donald Mensing almost carbon copy what we saw happen to Joseph Marr. We got a battle shaping up here between Joseph Marr and Sean Teeter for 2nd place. Marr going to make his way back around. Teeter regained that position he lost from that off track last time by. Now we'll see if Marr and Teeter can work together, try and chase down Brian Lemke, our leader up ahead. He's got himself a nice comfortable 3.6 second gap. Cruising away. It's been Lemke's season here so far. Couple wins here. The last few races was leading in Hungaroring. Had a little bit of a fuel issue. Ran out of fuel on the last lap in the last corner. Cost himself the win, but then came back the following week and stamped a win on that race. So we'll see how everything fares out here this week for Lemke. No doubt he's learned from his mistake of underfueling. This battle between Teeter and Marr not going away. Marr currently holding down the 2nd place. Teeter looking to the inside. Is he going to try and throw it up on the inside? Oh, a little squirrely there. Ooh, I think he might have just touched the corner of Joseph Marr's car. thankfully for the two of them, they didn't go flying off track, but that couldn't have gotten any closer. Oof. Sean Teeter, Code Brown moment there for him. Chris Diaz, the green and orange car, trying to fend off Derek Tyndall. Oh, Diaz going to go wide in that same corner that we saw a number of drivers go off. Oh, and he tanks. Isaac Sulu coming back on track and bounce him off the wall. He's going to get himself gathered up back on track, but he's going to fall all the way to the back of this pack. Chris Diaz is going to go from leading this battle from 7th place to fall all the way back into 11th. You know who's not too far back in them either? Corey Mitchell and Trent Kruger starting to work their way back up through the field after that incident they had early on. Let's take another look here. What happened to Chris Diaz? Oh, so he just got out on the curb the lap before, so lost a little bit of traction there. Tried to late brake it to hold off Derek Tyndall. Unfortunately, went a little wide coming back on track here. And a little bit of contact there from Isaac Sulu. He's getting it back on track though, but didn't look like anything real severe for Chris Diaz. He should be able to keep the car going, not seeing any damage. Although it looks like Diaz, I thought he was going to pop in for his pit service there, but just went wide. Actually, it's Bruce Silva that's going to come in. He's going to be our first taker. So Brew going to take advantage of the undercut I was mentioning earlier. He's going to try and get out of this battle, pop into the pits, and then see if he can get some service, get himself back out there, potentially leapfrog these cars he was battling with. Isaac Sulu now trying to put some pressure on Derek Tyndall. Looks like our fearless leader, Kent Kruger, the chief admin, might have had another incident here. We'll take a look at what happened there in a matter of moments as we focus on this battle here between Isaac Sulu and Derek Tyndall. 7th place battle. Tyndall currently holding on to this spot. Sulu trying to take it away. Let's go on board here with Oz, see what kind of run he gets down the Mulsanne straight into the first chicane, see if he can make a move. Tyndall doing the best he can to try and break the draft for Sulu. Sulu charging hard though. Here they come in, Tyndall defending. Holding those tight lines the best he can. So he's going to hold Sulu off. Sulu going to have to try and gather it back up, try and make a move into the second Mulsanne chicane now. Felipe Cox lurking in behind though. This battle that once entailed 7th all the way to 11th, breaking up a little bit. Chris Diaz has fallen back a little bit too well after that little bit of bump on the wall after the contact with Sulu. We got a moment here. Let's take a look at what happened to Kent Kruger moments ago. Well, Kent already missing his wing. Let's see, looks like he went off track earlier on. So let's see what happened to Kent. Oh, just lost it into the... What a power drift. Fortunately, couldn't quite gather it up. Just tags the back end. That's at the final chicane. That's unfortunate for Kent Kruger. Almost saved that. Let's take another look at that that move here by Kent Kruger. Let's see if we can get a onboard here. Let's go cockpit view with Kent Kruger to see how the hands were working on that one. Full lock right, full lock left. No, just tried to hold it left. Fortunately for Kent, he's unable to save that one. That's going to put an end to his race. This battle's still carrying on between Sulu and Tyndall. Sulu trying to find a way around. Tyndall doing well, putting his best defensive game out here for Isaac Sulu, but they're actually slowly chasing in Justin Atchison up ahead. See Atchison, that red, black, and white car just ahead down the track up in the distance. It's be a matter of time before they actually start reeling him in too as well. Let's go up ahead to Atchison. Let's take a look back from his wing, see what he might be seeing in his mirrors. So you can start to see those two cars of Tyndall and NEXUS starting to lurk in the distance for Justin Atchison. If they can get a little closer, they might be able to start to force Atchison to watch a little more out of his mirrors than out of his windshield, and that means that they can reel him in even quicker. Our leader though, Brian Lemke, that gap starting to fall up front. It was 3.6 seconds. Second place, Joseph Maher, really starting to put the push on here. Take a look at their last lap times to the cross line here. Joseph Maher, 4-minute 10-second flat here to Lemke's 4-minute 10-second 0.8 seconds. So quick lap for Joseph Maher last time by. Shows exactly why he's closing in that gap. Ryan Zinn just ran fast lap of the race with a 4:10.660. So nicely done by him. This battle between Tyndall and NEXUS still our closest battle on track though. I'm actually surprised this went on this long in the rain. You see the rain falling down, but it looks like the mist, the spray actually off the back of the car is starting to diminish a little bit, which tells me that the track isn't quite as wet as what it was. It's like in some areas it might potentially be a little lighter than others. Where they got into this area here now, you see a little more spray coming up as they head onto the Mulsanne Straits. A little more rain on the front stretch. It looks like on the back half of the track might be a little lighter. Sulu going to be a little farther, too far back right now to make a move. Although they are reeling in Justin Atchison, he's getting ever so closer. Atchison 414.3 last time by, so not sure if he has any damage on his car. Car looks fairly clean. Might have had an off somewhere. Actually, it looks like maybe the left rear showing a little bit of damage for him, but he's definitely down on pace. As that duo in behind of Tyndall and NEXUS now, only 1.7 seconds back. So you go aboard here with Derek Tyndall, you can see the spray just up ahead. That is Justin Atchison, not too far down the track. NEXUS thinks about a late move into the Mulsanne chicane, thought better of it at the end. If I was Oz NEXUS right now, I would just going to stay in behind Derek Tyndall and see if the two of you can reel in Justin Atchison up ahead, then potentially try and make a move around both drivers at the same time. I think that's actually what your play would be right now. It's like NEXUS, though, not content to sit there. He wants to take that position away from Tyndall. Luckily for him, they're still actually reeling Justin Atchison in. Normally this would cost you a bunch of time, but Atchison either down on pace, has some damage or something, but they are reeling him in quickly. It's just in behind them, we see Corey Mitchell starting to creep in on Felipe Cox. Mitchell trying to recover after that incident early on. I don't really see any damage on his car, so that tap that he gave Kent Kruger must have been fairly light. It was enough to spin Kent around, but that's going to have a lot to do with the rain conditions out here. Go on board here with Corey Mitchell. See Felipe Cox going way out wide to the right there. Corey dropping it down in second place, trying to get a little more mechanical rotation there. Oh no! Felipe Cox is going to go out wide. That's going to give that position to Corey Mitchell. That's going to be a freebie for Corey. That's going to put him back now to only -3 on the day. Our biggest mover and shaker, though, still Kelly Greenhoe. Kelly in a little bit of a purgatory as it stands right now. Got himself in 5th place, but he's 3.5 seconds back of Brian Zinn up ahead and 9 seconds up ahead of Justin Atchison. So really for Kelly, there's no real point of going full push right now. Just kind of maintain your position. Actually looks like Kelly's going to come in for his pit service. So Kelly going to be our second driver, it looks like, for the mandatory service, not based off of damage. Actually looks like Brian Lemke, Joseph Maher, Sean Teeter all into as well. There's our leader, Brian Lemke, heading into his stall. Joseph Meyer too as well, second place. Stall looks like Joseph a little slower getting into his stall there. Had to gather it back up a little bit, but while they come in for service, that's going to allow Brian Zinn to take top spot. So we'll see here. It looks like Zinn has managed to save, or he's confident he saved enough for another lap as the rest of the field has come in for service all the way back into 11th place, Felipe Cox. So interesting here. It looks like Justin Atchison going to go around one more lap too as well. We saw Atchison was starting to get reeled in by, that was Ozzik Sulu, and who was he battling with? Derek Tyndall. Long pit stop though for Tyndall. That's going to cost him a couple positions. 23.4 seconds in his box for Derek Tyndall. The rest of our field looking like they're around somewhere between 13 14 seconds depending on the fuel load they were taking. So unfortunately it's going to drop Derek Tyndall down to 12th place. The car he was battling, Ozzik Sulu, actually gained quite a bit on Kelly Greenhoe. Greenhoe just up ahead of him, 3.9 seconds up the track. Kelly Greenhoe a decent pit stop, 14.1 seconds, similar to Ozzik Sulu, but 52.4 on and off the lap. Actually, not sure if Ozzik Sulu's pit time is showing up here. He's showing 10 seconds less time in the, oh, he didn't stop, he just drove through. So Ozzik Sulu might have missed his pit stall here. Interesting, we'll have to keep an eye on him as he comes around next time by. He may still owe us a pit stop. But our leader, Brian Zinn, currently heading into the Mulsanne corner, confident that he's got enough fuel to get himself back around here. We'll have to see. Hopefully he can do it. Normally these cars can run about, I'd say about 30 minutes or so on fuel. Most tracks we go to, but with you being so much full throttle here at Le Mans, it's not surprising that a lot of our drivers popped in earlier than the 30-minute mark to get fuel, but we'll see when our leader Brian Zinn comes around. Looks like we got Sean Teeter moving around Jesse Meager. Meager hasn't come in for fuel either, so he might be nursing a little bit of a fuel down. Oh, Sean Teeter's going to go off wide after going around Jesse Meager. See what happened there to Sean Teeter. Came in hot after making the move around Jesse Meager. Just couldn't get it woed up off into the kitty litter for him, but he's going to get it back on track. Brian Lemke, who should be our leader again once Atchison and Zinn come in for their service. Currently sitting in third place, Joseph Meyer, the car he was battling. Joseph, we saw that issue he had getting into his pit stall that translated into about a 2 second slower stop for him that allowed Sean Teeter to get ahead of him. Joseph now about 2 seconds back of Sean Teeter. So he was able to close that gap. Back up front though, Brian Zinn heading into the chicane for the final time. He's going to pop in to get his pit service this time. I suspect we'll see Justin Atchison into as well when he comes by. So now, we'll have to see if that extra lap worked out the way Brian Zinn was hoping. As he's coming in to get his service done, the Garfield machine coming in from top spot. Brian Lemke, our leader. Or he was our leader before the pit stops. I suspect he should take top spot back again. But the interesting thing will be to see if Zinn was able to make up any time off second and third place Sean Teeter and Joseph Meyer, who after their pit cycle struggling a little bit here. About 8 seconds back of Brian Lemke. They came in about 1 second, second and a half separated for their cycle. Zinn still in his stall now as Lemke's going to head across start finish line hill. There it is. He'll take back top spot. Zinn exiting his stall though now. Sean Teeter down the front straight. It's going to be tight between Teeter, Meyer, and Zinn. Zinn back on track up ahead of them, but those two cars are going to have their tires back up to 10. So right now it looks like the overcut has worked for Brian Zinn. Got himself up into second place ahead of Sean Teeter, Joseph Meyer, Teeter not that far back though, 1.3 seconds separating Zinn and Teeter. Now it's a matter of, can Sean Teeter push ahead, try and chase down Zinn. Let's take a look at their quickest laps. Sean Teeter's best lap 410.89 to Zinn's 409.88. So Brian Zinn gonna need to put in a couple of his heater laps right now to open up that gap over Sean Teeter. Teeter in Reflect is going to have to try and put in those lap times too. Look, Kelly Greenhoe as well, tight up on the back of Joseph Marr. That's a battle for fourth place, currently held by Joseph Marr. Greenhoe showing the nose up in the inside. Let's go on board here with Kelly Greenhoe. See what the conditions are looking like now for the driver's cockpit. To head down the second part of the Mulsanne Straight. Comes that battle. There goes Zinn. There goes Teeter. Marr and Greenhoe. They head into the second Mulsanne chicane. Greenhoe thinking about looking up the inside. Shows the nose. Doesn't go for the move though. So Greenhoe going to try and hold on to that draft in behind Joseph Marr. Here they come down the hill into Mulsanne corner. There goes our leader, Brian Lemke. Here comes Zinn with Teeter, Marr, and Greenhoe in tow. Nobody close enough to make a move. That quartet of cars, though. The battle's on. Zinn 1.1 seconds up ahead of Sean Teeter. We saw when he came out of the pit lane, he had about a 1.4 second gap over Teeter. So Teeter's starting to close the gap here now on Zinn up ahead. Let's go on board here with Sean Teeter. Taking the more traditional line. Ooh, a little slick there for Teeter. Had to gather the car back up. Look out his back window. See Joseph Marr, Kelly Greenhoe lurking in behind, not too far back. Greenhoe looking to be about as tight as he's been on the back of Marr's bumper right now. On board here with Kelly Greenhoe, you can see Joseph Marr just up ahead, that 4-car pack. We've got about 6.5 minutes to go. It's probably about 2, maybe 3 laps, depending when Brian Lemke crosses the line here. Speaking of Brian Lemke, got himself on another Sunday drive here up front. Got that gap back up to 4.7 seconds. Lemke heading through the S's. See that battle for second, third, fourth, fifth coming in behind. Lemke's going to cross the line with, we've got about 5 3/4 minutes to go. It'll give us probably 2 more laps. So we'll have this one plus 1 more. Crown a victor here at Le Mans. The battle right now, second place, Brian Zinn. Opening up that gap over Sean Teeter. Teeter now 2 seconds back of Zinn. Teeter's now falling back into the clutches of Joseph Marr. Kelly Greenhoe as well falling off the back of Joseph Marr. So this battle for second place spreading out a little bit. Kelly Greenhoe going to go off wide. That's definitely going to be a slowdown for him. Looks like our battle now is for third place as Zinn continues to pull away. Teeter now going to have to try and defend off Joseph Marr. Marr we saw putting pressure on Lemke, and then he fell back a little bit. Fell actually in behind Sean Teeter, was able to regain that position, lost it again through the pit cycle. Teeter now holding on to third place. Marr going to have to try and take that position away. Running out of time to do it though. Joseph Marr trying to throw as much spray up in behind. Looks like Kelly Greenhoe has closed that gap back up again on Joseph Marr. So just when I thought Kelly might have been out of it, he's right back into this battle. It's now a 3-car battle for final step on the podium. Teeter holding on to that position. Marr and Greenhoe trying to take it away. See a little wiggle there from Kelly Greenhoe. Got it collected up though. Kelly driving that center line that I said you really want to stay away from and unsettles the car. So see here as he heads into this Mulsanne chicane, the second one compromises exit a little bit. So he had to back out of it. Kelly's going to want to get on either one side of that crown in the road or the other. See if he can get enough draft to make a move into the Mulsanne corner. Thinks about showing his nose up the inside. There comes second place. Brian's in the orange car. Sean Teeter in behind, green, black, and red. Oh, Joseph Marr going to go off wide. Greenhoe going to take that position away. Marr going to get himself back on track, but falling in behind Greenhoe. 1.2 seconds, possibly 1.3 here. It's going to be tough for Joseph Marr to get back into the draft. So he was able to do it. Fortunately for him, though, Kelly Greenhoe right now out of Sean Teeter's draft up ahead. As Greenhoe had to collect that car back up to avoid not running off track into Marr as well. Go a little further back here. Bruce Silva. He's caught Justin Atchison's battle for 6th place. Closing in on him quick. We saw Atchison getting chased down by Tyndall and Exul early on, but both of them with struggles on their pit cycle have fallen back. Atchison currently holding on to 6th place. Bruce Silva coming up quick though. Last time by 412.12 for Bruce Silva. Atchison 448.22 on his outlap. So Atchison trying to get those tires back up to 10th here. They don't really have much to worry about. Corey Mitchell 7.7 seconds behind them. So it's just a 2-car battle for 6th place. There goes Corey Mitchell there now. Atchison holding on to that position, would love to bring it home there. New driver Bruce Silva would love to try and take it away. On board here with Bruce Silva, you see the spray up ahead of Atchison. So Atchison going to drift a little farther left than he'd want. Silva, unfortunately, similar trajectory for him. Our leader, though, Brian Lemke, into the final corner for the second to last time. Oh no, we're going to go 2 more laps. Barney not waving the white flag, so there we go. Either that or he's on strike here this evening. We've seen him on strike a number of weeks, but Barney not waving the white flag. But with a minute and 15 seconds to go, I'm going to say this is the last lap. Barney's just unionized, not working. But Kelly Greenhoe is battle 4th place. He's been caught by Joseph Marr. See now if Marr can put some pressure on Greenhoe to try and force a mistake. Greenhoe going a little wide through Dunlock corner. A little slideways through there for Greenhoe. Costing a bit of time, but they are starting to reel in. Sean Teeter up ahead, that gap closing. Oh no, Greenhoe going wide. Oh, he's going to save the car, but he's going to lose a spot. Kelly Greenhoe is going to fall back into 5th place. Still 19 seconds up on Justin Atchison, but that was unfortunate for Kelly Greenhoe. Let's see if we can take another look here at that power drift by Greenhoe. Just tried to throw it in there a little hard, lost the back end. Luckily it didn't snap around on him. He was able to hold on to it, but that's going to all but end his dreams of taking home 3rd spot on the podium. So head back here to this battle for 7th place, 6th and 7th. Atchison still holding on to 6th place. Bruce Silva still trying to find a way to take that position away from him. Atchison doing the best he can, make that car as wide as he possibly can. In behind them, Tyndall, Diaz, and looks like Corey Mitchell not too far ahead of them. It's battle for 8th, 9th, and 10th. Tyndall and Diaz were part of that pack that we had, that 5-car pack that were battling out for 7th place. Looks like Diaz getting a little squirrely in behind as he's moving back and forth across that crown that I've told these guys a couple of times stay off of that. Just going to unsettle the car. You lose pace. They finally moved over to the right side. Into the Mulsanne, second Mulsanne chicane they go. Tyndall closing the gap almost back into the tailpipes of Chris Diaz. Pop back up here. Atchison still holding off Bruce Silva. Keep an eye here on the map. Our leader, Brian Lemke, heading into, that's Indianapolis corner here for the final time. Brian's in, has closed down that gap a little bit, but he unfortunately is going to run out of time here, barring any mistake from Lemke. That gap holding steady about 3 seconds. Looks like Jesse Meager had a incident a little farther back. Let's take a quick look here. What happened to him? Already missing his rear wing. We know that's going to spell disaster for him. That back end's not going to have any grip, and around he goes. It's unfortunate for him. They might have had, oh, Bruce Silva almost gets into the back of Justin Atchison. That same corner we've seen a number of drivers struggle with. Our leader, though, Brian Lemke, last time through the S's for him, holding 3.2 seconds over Brian's in. A couple more corners to go for Brian Lemke to take the win. Gets it low down, not to try and force any mistakes here. You don't want to slow down coming to the last corner there, so he's going to wrap it up. Across the flag stand he goes. Well done for Brian Lemke. Congratulations on him. Joseph Marr, so he's going to be able to hold off Sean Teeter. Teeter going to fall a little ways back. We got a battle. Oh, Derek Tyndall and Corey Mitchell still battling it out. Mitchell gets a little loose. Tyndall going to get by. Diaz going to get by. It's like Mitchell serving a slowdown or potentially out of fuel. Oh, he's out of fuel. You hear the car sputtering. Corey Mitchell going to have to try and coast it to the line, but Derek Tyndall up ahead. He's going to hold off Chris Diaz to take home 8th spot. Corey Mitchell pushed the fuel envelope too far. He's coasting. Is he going to coast far enough to get across the line? Oh, yeah, also close. Corey Mitchell needs a boost from someone. He's not going to get it, though. Felipe Cox, Alex Suler are going to get by. Jesse Meager trying to nurse that car home with no wing. Corey Mitchell still crawling towards the line. Welcome in, Dave Connell, FM. No flips. Actually, there might have been a couple flips, but Corey Mitchell still ever so close. Jesse Meager coming to the line. It's his last opportunity to try and get a push across the line here. We'll see if Jesse Meager gives Corey Mitchell a boost. He's going to go around Corey Mitchell. That's going to drop Corey down to 13th place. And we still have a lap car of Donald Mensing on track. We'll see if he chooses. Looks like Donald might give him a little boost here. Mensing already lapped down. He's got nothing to lose here. He's going to do the gentlemanly thing here and boost Corey Mitchell across the line. Oh, I don't know if he's going to be able to do it with the wet conditions. Corey's got his brakes on. There you go. Take your foot off the brakes, Corey. There we go. Across the line they go. And that's going to make this one official. Let's take a look at the final results here. Brian Lemke going to take top spot. Brian's in with the pit strategy. Works himself up into second place. Joseph Marr in third. Sean Teeter in fourth. Kelly Greenhill comes home in fifth. Atchison in sixth. Bruce Silva in seventh. Tyndall in eighth. Diaz in 9th, Cox rounding out the top 10, Ixulu in 11th, Jesse Meager in 12th, Corey Mitchell, last car on the lead lap in 13th, Donald Mensing, Nicholas Stableski, Kent Kruger, and Rob Fellon. Unfortunately, incidents early on, but they did not see the checkered flag here. So let's see. We've got a couple drivers in the interview room. We'll get to them in a second here. First, let's queue up. Let's queue up our setting here. Let's bring in our winner, Brian Lemke. Lemke, congrats! You were able to get out front and never really look back here this evening.
Yeah, I just I got lucky. I didn't make many mistakes. It looked like the guys behind me were, and then I had enough at the end to stay ahead of Zin, who was closing in really fast there at the end. So sometimes luck is a big thing in these things, and say it was. So.
Now, with that gap you had, were you able to do any kind of fuel saving out there to try and minimize your time in the pits, or were you just going to go the whole time?
I would say my pace was don't wreck, but try to push as best I can. I was in a pretty good rhythm, so I wasn't really fuel saving. But my pace wasn't really as fast as some of these other guys. So just trying to keep it pointed straight and stay off the curbs and the puddles and the slowdowns. It was pretty treacherous out there. So, but we managed to get it done. And some of the other guys looked like they were having some issues behind me, so that helped out a lot.
Yeah, there was, I think it was, I want to say the corner after Indianapolis. I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head. We saw 4 or 5 drivers go off in the exact same spot. But you're a strong last couple weeks. We only got 3 more weeks to go in the season. How are you feeling to close out the next 3 weeks?
Yeah, hopefully I can keep this going. It's been a lot of fun, and I'm really enjoying this car. I think the rain helped a lot tonight. I was definitely not as fast in the dry as some of these other guys in practice, so the rain was a big breaking point tonight, which was nice. So we'll see what these next races have in store, and yeah, hopefully close this one out strong.
Excellent stuff. Well, best of luck next week to you, Lemke. Anybody you want to shout out here before we let you go?
Hi, Mom.
Always a good shout out for the mom. She's always the number 1 supporter. So good luck next week, Lemke, and hopefully we see you back up at the top.
Awesome. Thanks again, Rob.
Take care. So that was our winner, Brian Lemke. Let's bring in who do we got here? Let's bring in second place, Brian Zin. Zin looks like some strong pit strategy. Was able to leapfrog Teeter and Marr and get yourself up in the second spot where you didn't really look back after that.
Yeah, I wasn't sure how it was going to play out, but getting those fast laps before the pits and then having a pretty good pit stop in general seemed like it paid off pretty well. So I was pretty happy with that. Wasn't sure how else I was going to catch those guys. I was kind of doing a little fuel saving early in the race, trying to see if I can eke an extra lap out, and they pit a lap before I did. I don't know if it's from a fuel saving thing or they just didn't want to risk it on that last lap, but yeah, ran in clean air, had a great in lap, and just took advantage of it. I was honestly surprised I jumped as far ahead as I did.
What were the conditions like? Were they fairly steady the whole way through? It looked like there's a point in the race where the spray kind of dropped down a little bit on particularly about the back half of the track that kind of picked up again on the front half.
Yeah, it seemed to be pretty steady throughout. It did feel like towards the end of the race, there were parts of the track that seemed to be drying out a little bit. Like you could use a little bit more of the normal racing line through certain corners, but overall the rain on the windshield was pretty steady. It seemed like the spray coming out from the back of the car was pretty steady too, so I'd say it was pretty overall consistent, but I'm honestly shocked at how good the wet tire performance was on the car. I was a little bit bummed when I loaded into the session and saw that it was going to be a rain race, because I was really looking forward to these cars at Le Mans. Didn't expect it to be raining, but I was pleasantly surprised by how good this car was in the rain around here.
I came into the race. I just got the points up here on the screen. You came into the race here tied with Mark Miller for third spot. So no Miller this week. you're going to pick up some points on him potentially with whatever your drop week is that's falling off. But how you feeling going into the last 3 weeks of the season?
I'm feeling better. I knew that I had to kind of make up for some of the races that I've DNF'd or just hadn't been able to make. So I'm trying to pad the stats, if you will, for the races that I'm here for. As best I can. I know Joseph's in the battle for the championship, and Lemke always is too. So, those are kind of the two guys that I'm eyeing when I load in, and anytime that I can beat either one of them or both of them is a good day. So it's going to be good. Last few weeks of the season, I think we've only got 2 or 3 weeks left. 3 weeks left, I think.
3 weeks left.
Yeah. So it'll be good. Zandvoort in this car is going to be very interesting. Qualifying is going to be paramount there because it's going to be hard to pass around there. In Mid-Ohio and Indy are great courses to race at, so especially Mid-Ohio. But looking forward to it. I'm excited for it.
Excellent stuff. Well, we'll let you go before we do those in. Anybody you want to shout out before we kick you out of the booth?
As always, shout out to you guys for putting the broadcast on. I love being able to go back and watch it after the fact. Thanks to all the admins at Apex This that come up with these good schedules and plan these things out. And it seems like planning's already started for next season with some good things in the works. So definitely, if anybody's watching and wants to come join the fun, absolutely recommend it. It's one of the better leagues I've been in. So just kudos to all you guys.
Excellent stuff. Well, Zin, best of luck the final 3 races, and hopefully we see you back here in the booth again.
I hope to be talking to you every week from here on out, but we'll see how it shakes out. So I'll catch you everybody later.
That was second place Brian Zinn. Now let's bring in our third place driver, Joseph Barr. Joseph, bit of an up and down day for you. Up into second, back to third, back to fourth. You had a little bit of an issue getting into your pit stall there. Kind of missed it, then pulled ahead a little bit. And we saw you go off just after Indianapolis. So all in all, coming home third place, I think it's probably going to be fairly gratifying.
Yeah, I take third place for that. I want to do over on that race.
Yeah, no doubt. But rain, that's 2 of the last 3 weeks we've had rain. Hopefully, I know most of the drivers probably are wishing no more rain races the rest of the season, but how comfortable do you feel running in the rain?
I actually really like it. I wouldn't mind more races being wet. Yeah, I definitely beat myself in that race.
Did you do much practice this week in the rain conditions, or we just talked to Zin where it was a bit of a surprise for him when he popped in, saw it was rain, but were you prepared at all for rain?
No, kind of like last week. I did maybe 20-30 minutes earlier today. And
that. Next week we head to Zandvoort. How are you feeling about heading to Zandvoort? I know it's a track that a lot of guys either really like it or don't like it. I find it's great in open wheel cars, not so much in GT cars, but the Ferrari Challenge car is a little bit of a different animal when it comes to GT cars.
I'm going to say I don't mind it. We'll see week.
Well, we came into this one. I believe you're second in the points coming into this one. Or no, sorry, you were leading the points coming into this one, Joseph. So you got some defense to do here the last few weeks. How comfortable are you feeling heading the last 3 weeks, potentially bringing home the championship here?
Well, drop weeks are going to start. In fact, I already stand with that. So, see.
I think they've already started to come into effect, but yeah, we'll see how it shapes out. So congrats, Joseph, getting yourself back up into third place. Anybody you want to shout out here before we let you
go? Just all the other racers. Without them, this would be kind of boring.
Excellent stuff. Well, best of luck, Joseph. 3 rounds to go. We hope to see you back up front again each one of those weeks, and we'll talk to you later.
Thank you.
So that was our third place driver, Joseph Amar. And that's going to pretty much do it here for us this evening. Again, if you're looking for any kind of sim gear, Apex Sim Racing, you'll find a discount code in the description, 5% off. Use the referral link there. It'll take you right into their webpage. And they have wheels, pedals, button boxes, anything you can want for your sim racing gear. You can find it there. Help support the people that help support us. We'll catch you back next week, same time, same place for round 10. Getting down to the final 3 races of the season. Bye for now. We'll catch you then.